Hey there everyone. So yes, there's been a video I've been wanting to do for quite some time now, and had an experience of my own that kind of opened my eyes up to the situation, and it's quite disturbing, and try not to get too emotional, like angry and boisterous about stuff, and try to watch my language and stuff on this channel. But frankly, I'm quite angry and pissed off and sick to my stomach about the whole situation, and just wanted to share my thoughts on stuff and the things that are happening in our society here. Don't know how it's got so broken. So I was at a school doing a workshop, and I showed up at the school and needed to use the washroom. So I asked which washroom I could use, and they said, and I didn't realize right at that moment what was actually happening at that moment. But they said it doesn't matter, you can use whatever bathroom you want. So I'm waiting. We're waiting in a room for her to be called in to start talking to the kids and stuff like that. And I'm looking at the posters and stuff up in this room, and as you can see at the beginning of this video, there's a poster with this transgender symbolism on it. And I'm looking over this thing, and it's talking about gays and lesbians and transsexuals and inclusiveness and whatnot, and I'm like, I'm not okay with this. I'm really not okay with this. Like, so I went back into the hall and looked over at where the bathroom was, what I had just used, and re-looked back at it, and there was the sign. It was a transgender bathroom. Now, like I said, I'm angry. I'm sick to my stomach. I'm pissed off. And I've been watching a lot of other channels addressing this subject, and it's not okay when a situation happens and there's a letter written to the school addressing the situation. That, I guess what had happened is, it was a little girl. She went into a bathroom and ended up seeing a men's genitalia in the bathroom. So the parent wrote a letter to the school, and the school replies back to the letter, maybe it's this parent's fault that they're not teaching tolerance. Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, my tolerance has run out. And like I said before, I don't know how society got so broken. How did we end up, according to the media, mainstream media, that now there are like 56 different genders. It's pretty messed up. I don't know about you, but growing up, it was hard enough for me to identify with my own gender. I remember hearing stories about my dad or my parents saying that they wished I was a girl when I was born. I grew up pretty confused, you know? You talk about how this generation or whatnot. Generations going probably back farther than this generation, dealing with suicide and depression and all this stuff that's going on, and kids have enough to deal with. They have enough on their plate as it is. They're confused enough about their selves and identifying with themselves, like I had in the past. And now throwing in the fact that now there's what, 56 or whatever, probably growing now, new genders or additional genders, and it's ludicrous. It's totally ludicrous. I'm angry. I wanted to get out here in nature and try to decompress a little bit, try to calm down a little bit. But I don't want to calm down. And I'm watching videos and stuff on other channels about parents speaking out against this, and I'm like, good on them. Good on them. Because this is not okay. You talk about child abuse, you know, talking about people going to the extremes. Well, this is, I do my best not to feed into this liberal narrative. And I try not to get too political on my channel. I try not to offend people. I try not to, do that. And there's going to be people that are going to agree with me, and there's going to be people who disagree with me. But I've talked about diversity also being important. If my opinion is unpopular to others, then so be it. I don't understand how now in the schools, little boys and little girls are not being addressed as little boys and little girls. I don't understand how society at large has become so broken and corrupt. I don't understand. Oh, we got a deer over here. How I'm not even looking at this. Here, let's try to fix. Can I fix this now? No, it's already recording. I don't understand how making life more complicated for anyone on this freaking rock to be able to function or to identify with themselves when there's a constant stream of separation of oh my God, it's insane. I don't understand. Why does life have to be so hard? Why does making a decision about your own gender have to be so hard? Why does everything in the mainstream media feeding everyone have to be so negative all the time? You used to be able to turn on the news and at least see some kind of positive stuff, and now you learn on the news. We don't even watch TV, right? I watch stuff on videos on here on YouTube to be informed of what's actually going on, and at least maybe I'll get some kind of the idea of what the truth is. But people shouldn't have to go and make a video about an issue that doesn't have to be. Why can't a man just be a man, a woman just be a woman, or a boy be a little boy, or a girl be a little girl anymore. I knew that they're really pushing this transgender narrative in the States. But I'm right here in Ontario, and I walk into a school, and they're doing the same here as well. I'm not saying it's okay for them to be doing anything and like that in the States, but it's not okay for them to be doing anywhere. Life's already complicated enough. You don't have to continue making life harder and more stressful and unmanageable. You can't even manage your... It took me 38 years to start making sense of my life. Starting to make better life choices. Starting to, just the beginning to start to identify with myself as an individual. I wasn't a bad person, I was a sick person. I don't understand how they expect these children to grow up not being able to identify with their own genders. That it's okay to go into a public bathroom or bathroom in a school or wherever the hell it is and see an opposite gender and that just be the norm. That's not normal. It's not okay. I don't have an issue with the LGBT community as a whole. There's aspects of my own sexuality that if I was to say that I had a problem with that community, that I would be a hypocrite myself. And I refuse to be a hypocrite. Just 1 second. Hello. Have a great day. You're welcome. I refuse to be that hypocrite. And it would be wrong for me not to have all these emotions and feelings and stuff all pent up inside myself without having some kind of outlet to be able to express myself. Everyone else home where I'm at, they don't seem to have an issue with this, and I'm trying to keep my cool and trying not to lose my stuff. I needed to get out of the house. I needed to talk about this. It's important. It's an important issue that needs to be addressed. When I see people speaking out against it, I'm proud of that. People are waking up and noticing that what's going on has been going on underneath their noses for so long. They're finally waking up to the realization that there's things that are just so broken. I don't like living in this society where you gotta be politically correct. Well, I'm one of the last people on the planet that's politically correct. And I think the more and more that people wake up, there's going to be a lot more people that are going to be speaking out. A lot more people that are going to be able to voice their opinions without feeling like they're going to be ostracized by everyone else on the planet. Or most people. I lived my whole life feeling ostracized by everyone. And I'm done. if I'm gonna be done, that means I'm gonna speak out. I'm gonna use my voice. I'm gonna use my words. I'm gonna use my actions. I'm gonna do my best to get what I believe to be my own truth about this situation out to other people. If that makes me a truther, then hell yeah, I'm a truther. I don't understand how things have gotten so out of sorts and unmanageable that people just can't be their own individual just for that individual. They gotta be everyone else for everyone else, and they can't be themselves. Oh my God. I'm grateful that I have this opportunity to share with you guys. Like, I want to know what you guys' thoughts on this is too, because this is my primary reason for my channel, to be able to reach out to people and be able to say, okay, what are your thoughts on this? Because that's important. I can share my views, I can share my thoughts on different stuff and my experiences, but your thoughts and your experiences are just as important as my own. I know I can't be the only one out there that has an issue with this. I know I'm not the only person that, you know, I currently don't have little ones. Well, I have grandchildren, and I think a couple of my, like, I know a couple of my kids are still in school, and my grandkids are gonna grow up their whole lives in a society where they don't know who the hell their selves as an individual are. And I'm angry about that. I'm pissed off. You shouldn't be afraid to send your kids to school because they're gonna see another gender in the bathroom. You can't go to the malls probably soon without, you know, I know there was a chain of grocery stores that are trying to open up a transgender bathroom, and they look how much backlash they got. Well, what's happening? If a big outlet store like that is getting that much backlash about these transgender bathrooms, how the hell have they ended up in our schools? Like, does that make sense to anyone else? Does that make sense to I'm upset. This is why I know it's important that I hear your feedback. What's going on? What's going on in society? What's going on in people's minds? What are people's opinions in their own homes? What are the teachers' opinions about the situation? Are the teachers just not talking because if they talk, that makes their opinion unpopular, so they're going to be ostracized? That's pretty much, I believe that that's what's happening. People don't want to speak out against the establishment because they're going to get fired, or they're going to get ostracized, or they're going to get worse. There's so much wrong with this. There's so much. You shouldn't be able to be afraid to send your kids to school. Your kids shouldn't be afraid to go to school. You know what, that's even a more important topic here. Your kids should not be afraid to go to school because they don't want to go into a bathroom, and they're going to be in an environment where they're going to have people come in and try to convert I think that's what it is. They're trying to convert all these young minds to an ideology that is just a popular belief of the mainstream media. I'm not okay with that. A kid's supposed to be able to go to school to learn how to spell, to learn their shapes and colors, to be able to learn how to be in society or learn how to be more social in a larger setting than just in the family unit, right? Well, you're sending your kids to school and they're afraid to be themselves, to express themselves openly. Like teachers can't even address little boys and little girls as little boys and little girls anymore. Like, that's messed up. It affects everything. It affects the way people see themselves. It changes the whole root of a society where, a man, I don't know. I'm not a homophobe. I'm not against the LGBT. I'm not any of that. But, maybe that's just an issue that a person maybe in their later in life can make that own decisions for themselves. It shouldn't be forced upon them as soon as they end up in the school system. I'm so angry about the situation. I tried to keep my channel light. I tried to just keep things calm and relaxed. But this is an issue that needs to be addressed by more people. It needs to be addressed. It needs to be talked about more. More parents needs to go into the schools and say, hey, this isn't okay. And I believe we're going to see more and more of that. And I really hope so. I really hope that more and more people speak out against this, because it's ludicrous and damaging. They're damaging all these young minds. They're damaging the minds of whoever is feeding into this BS. It's not okay for people to be afraid to be themselves, afraid to walk down the street and say, hey, ma'am, may I help you with your groceries? It's not okay. So that's why it's important that I hope to get some feedback from you guys on this topic. Whatever topic you want me to address, I'll address. But I think this is the most pressing issue right now in society at large. Not being able to just be your own individual because you're a male or a female. You can just go out to like-minded areas or places of like-minded people and be yourself. Be your own individual. Be whoever you identify with. I have no problem with that. I have no problem with that at all. Whatever your lifestyle is, whatever your belief system is, whatever your core belief systems are, be yourself in those environments, in those settings, with like-minded people of your own. It is not okay to push upon and enforce an idealistic views on young impressionable minds that are already confused enough about what society is, who they are as an individual, who's a man, who's a woman. It affects who people can trust. When you have a feeling of untrusting, then you can't function. So, do it again. It's important that people know how to function in society as their own individual. Life is confusing enough. I'm an addict because I didn't know how to identify with myself. I didn't think myself was okay. I thought there was something fundamentally wrong with me. What's this generation going to look like when they can't identify their own gender? And I'm sure there's so much other stuff too. I used because I didn't like the feelings that were inside me. I didn't know how to process any information. I didn't know where all my feelings or my actions or all that were derived from. I didn't understand why I was doing what I was doing. I didn't understand why I was treating the people I like how I treated people. And now we have this generation that's already confused enough about themselves and society. And it's not alright. Hey guys. Hi. Oh, hi.
You're looking for a deer?
I've seen a deer, yes. I'm making a video. Have a great day. It's good to see little ones out in nature. Out on an adventure with their mom or caregiver. Yeah, who's mommy, who's daddy? Well, who plays which role? I have a lot of issues with society and this issue. Oh man. I wanted to come out here and I'm a bit calmer than I was. Just out in nature. Doing my best to express my feelings. I have, like I said, I got grandchildren that are gonna grow up in a society that they don't know who or what to identify with. And I'm angry about that. There's a time and a place for everything. There's a time and a place to act out on what you believe or what lifestyle you choose to live. But it's not alright when you go and start to impress on these young impressionable minds that this is the norm. It's not okay. I really hope to hear back some feedback on this video. I need to know that I'm not alone in my own head, that this is not okay. I can't wrap my head around the fact that this is what society has become. I don't like the fact that when my grandchildren grow up, or even my children now at these ages, are now exposed to these events, to this reality, how warped it is, how craziness is the norm. I can't understand why there's so much of a negative narrative. They try to pan it off as being tolerant or being of a positive nature. It is so for people to be able to identify whatever the hell they want to identify with. I really need to know that I'm not alone. Because right now I'm feeling alone with this issue at home. I can't express myself freely about this without them having a different point of view. I do. I say it's not okay. How messed up it is. Man. Inclusiveness. You know, I think inclusiveness is important, but inclusiveness it has to have some kind of norm. And right now, things are not normal. You know, inclusiveness, acceptance. I accept that there's other people out there to identify other ways. And that's not gonna change. I understand that.